A big house is one of the dumbest ways to prove you're successful. A larger house generally costs more to maintain, insure, heat, cool, furnish, and repair. Bigger homes often require more time and money for cleaning, maintenance, landscaping, and repairs. A high income does not necessarily mean financial independence. A person can earn a lot and still have high expenses and little savings. The size of someone's home tells you very little about their happiness, relationships, health, or sense of purpose. A big house automatically means a big pool. I hope your bank balance is not drowning as a result. Buying a big house as if you are in a competition to win the world's biggest house owner could be a bad choice. When someone shows you a huge house, society expects, "Wow, you've made it. Look at all that space. You must be rich. That's beautiful. I'm jealous. That's impressive." A big house is one of the dumbest ways to prove you're successful. Nothing says I made it like paying for 6 bedrooms and sleeping in one. If you dream to buy a house, no need to buy a house so big. When you leave the kitchen, you need a packed lunch. A big house is basically a child. It needs constant attention, costs a fortune, and somehow you're proud when it looks good. It is better to have a simple home, a place where you live, and a place where you will be feeling comfortable, secure, or successful. They say, home is where the heart is. With some of these houses, the heart better be paying the mortgage. Don't allow a big house to determine your worth, financial value, and personal value. Imagine, your house is worth $3 million. That's great. But how much are you worth without the house? Unless you want the compliment of, "Wow, he has beautiful grounds." The land surrounding his house is breathtaking. Unfortunately, none of these are grounds for calling yourself successful. One guy I met bought a massive house. He kept talking how big it is. Now, big has an innocent meaning, but also a suggestive meaning too. That's what his girl wished he also had in his pants. His mansion had everything, just like his woman: a front entrance, a back entrance, and apparently a very expensive sense of humor. "Come inside," she said. "Oops, I meant when the door opened. Home sweet home. Your home is comfortable and pleasant. They call it home sweet home. Mine is more like home, sweet mortgage," he said. He continued, "The best thing about having a huge house is all the space. You have privacy. You have peace and quiet. And eventually you're so far from everyone that you start waving at your own family. What if the house could talk? The house would probably say, 'You bought me to prove you're successful, but now you have to work all day to afford me.' What if the house was a toxic partner? What if your house was your partner? It takes your money. It demands attention. It creates problems. You can't easily leave. And you're constantly trying to keep it happy. That's not a house. That's a very expensive relationship." Core facts about having a big house. Someone owns a very large house. The house is intended to signal wealth. The owner wants other people to see them as successful. A large house also creates large expenses. The house may contain rooms that aren't used. The owner has to maintain, insure, and pay for it. The status symbol may actually create financial pressure. The house is supposed to prove success, but owning it can create more work and financial pressure. Why do people want 10 bedrooms? Eventually, you're going to die anyway. At least make the house small enough that the family can find the body. So walk with me and tell me if this makes sense. You bought a giant house to show that you was great, then spent the next 30 years discussing rates. You wanted to look wealthy, powerful, and grand. Now the bank owns the house and most of your land. They call it success when the ceiling gets higher. But the bigger the building, the bigger the fire. Not literally, I mean financially. Every month the bills come back like they're chasing you. That's the trick, isn't it? Bigger means better. Put your net worth in bricks. Make the debt look impressive. You don't need happiness when the entrance is grand. Just install a giant gate so your problems can't land. People walk past and say, "Damn, you is successful." Meanwhile calculating if the water bill's stressful. You rich in appearance, but poor in the practical. Your house is so big that your Wi-Fi is geographical. A big house is overrated if you're spending your whole life paying for it. Your house doesn't make you rich. Your assets do.